Hey everyone, it's Alan K from the Fennosphere. I've been meaning to do this video for a while now, and I've just been too lazy to pull all this stuff out of the closets and backpacks in my garage and storage and everything. But here it is. These are all of my research materials, I think. Some of you will probably call this way overkill. Others will call me Kitchen Sink Kelly. Others may say this is just good research. But here it is. Anyways, and if anyone has any questions on any of these specific items, feel free to leave a comment. I'd be happy to talk it through with you. I haven't read every single page of every one of these books, but I've tried. And here we go, starting with my search partner. This is Hogan. He likes to sleep. Of course, you got to start with the three memoirs plus the new revised version of Once Upon a While. So I think my primary research materials are, number 1, Thrill of the Chase, Too Far to Walk, and Once Upon a While. And I think that alone could be enough to help you find Fenn's treasure. But as we all know, no one's found it yet. So I'm trying to just learn more, figure out more. Are there clues and hints and tips and tricks and anything that will help us get a little bit closer? The 200-footer didn't even know he was there. So maybe if he had read a little bit more of one of these books or learned something else, maybe he could have found it. This was a fun little piece I found on Eric Sloane. It's a video disc. It's humongous. I have no idea what plays a video disc, but it's from the 80s. I got it, I forget where, for like $50, and it's signed. And I think there's only like 100 of them made or something. So pretty cool. Maybe I'll do a one-off video on just showing you guys that. I really love $17 a square inch. It's mentioned in Forrest's book. It's kind of a collaboration between Forrest and Eric, and I think there's something to it. I have a few lines and quotes and pages from that book that I think could help. And again, maybe I'll do a separate video on just Eric Sloane. I would love to do that. I know some YouTubers have done that. Just some photos, paintings, prints I've picked up that just remind me of my search area, which it's no secret, I'm a Yellowstone searcher. Anyone that wants to talk to me about that, feel free. I've been boots on the ground 3 times, probably spent about a week there. I know Finn didn't walk more than a couple miles, but I've probably hiked 100 miles in Yellowstone looking for the treasure. And I love it there, and I plan on going back every year until it's found. Here are a couple Eric Sloane books I've purchased. Reverence for Wood, if you're a Braven in the Wood, so why not? The Do's and Don'ts of Yesterday. I don't know. I was trying to look up. Maybe there's no paddle up your creek somewhere, but alas, I could not find it. And The Weather Forecaster. It's just a good book, so I wanted to get it. The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. This is a interesting little translated poem. Again, it's mentioned in Forrest's book, so I bought it and read it, and it's just a good story. Journal of a Trapper. I think that there might be a critical hint in here. I'm not the first to think that. This is all about Donnie and Joe looking for Lewis and Clark. He said he has read this book more than a few times, so I think we all should read this more than a few times, and maybe we'll find something. Of course, Catcher in the Rye. A little fun fact, if you want to go online, damn it, that thing just unfroze. Oh, there we go. If you want to go online, look for the PDF of Catcher in the Rye. I just searched Madison. Go look at the PDF, search Madison, and it's just interesting how many mentions there are of Madison. Of course, he's talking about Madison Avenue in New York, but then he talks about going into Central Park at night when it was dark and cold and raining, and it's just interesting. There might be something to that, but feel free to dig into it, and again, send me your comments, ideas, or thoughts. The Bear Almanac. You got to be bear aware. I mean, if you're walking, hiking in these parks, you got to be bear aware. First time I went to Yellowstone, I was clueless. I didn't even bring water, let alone bear spray, and that was a mistake. I luckily didn't see any bears, and no bears charged me, but bear aware is key. And also, Gary Brown wrote that, so just a little fun fact. Yellowstone waterfalls. I do think the treasure is near, behind, above, somewhere near a waterfall. There are hundreds of waterfalls in Yellowstone, so it doesn't really narrow it down, but this is a great book for all the Yellowstone waterfalls. Yellowstone place names. This is a great resource material. If you've got a key place name in mind, it's usually going to be found in this book. Not every single location is in this book, but it's a great book. And again, anyone has any specific questions or comments, let me know. Yellowstone Ranger, it was a good read. Nothing there, but I love it. And of course, got to get the kids involved, so I had to buy Goodnight Yellowstone. National Geographic. This is the one where he's talking about, I forget. There's a couple pages and articles about Yellowstone. I specifically pulled it up because there's a mention of Ranger Gary Brown and the Lamar Ranger Station. No, I don't think that Homa Brown is Gary Brown, but I wanted to buy this specific magazine because there's a lot of mentions about it in the blog, and I wanted to read it for myself. And then there's been a lot of recent buzz on Norman Rockwell, and I bought this one from a real estate sale a couple months ago, just to look at all the pictures and illustrations and see if there's anything else going on. Mirror on my wall. Interesting how he drew himself a little bit younger in this picture. And you can't call yourself a searcher if you don't know who Bill Gorman is, and if you have a Bill Gorman original, I think you're off to a good start. I am not a world traveler, but I like to see all the places that Fenn traveled. I don't know if it's going to help, but I like to check it out. Let's see if I'm forgetting anything here. Map of Yellowstone. I think that's pretty much it. But again, if you have any questions for me or Hogan, let us know. Otherwise, we'll be sleeping. See ya.